Viewers at home, how are we all doing today? Welcome to Challenges and Solutions. I am your host, Ajike Oyibo. Today in the studio, we are bringing to you one wonderful topic, and the title of this topic is Toy Gun. Over the years, we have read reports of so many kids killing their parents with toy guns and their siblings. In July 14, 2012, in Indiana, USA, a 3-year-old child found his father-loaded gun and killed his father mistakenly. This has been occurring. So we want to find out today if it is good for people to be buying their children toy guns. And we also want to raise a voice against computer games company who are making a lot of toy guns for the young ones because they are endangering their life. I think to me, they are putting them in danger. They are creating violence in their brain. That is why I have brought to the studio 2 wonderful guests who have successfully raised grown-up kids. I want to find out from them how they did it and what has helped them, if they use toy guns or not. So don't go away. Join us. You have a lot to learn from this topic today. I'm going to go on a very short break now. When I come back, you'll be meeting our guest. You'll be watching our video of the week.
Mommy's going to go to the market and buy you a big toy gun so that you can shoot and play with it with your friends, okay?
Whoa, and why would you buy her a toy gun? That's not good. What do you think she would do if she sees a real gun? Most children start to by using toy guns and other things, and they end up killing their parents. You know?
No, but that's what I want. I want to buy her a toy gun. She can play with a toy gun. You know what? Just look. Let's go.
Welcome back, viewers. Like I've said before, I went on a very short break that you are going to watch our video and you are going to meet my guest. I know you have watched our video, you have seen what is happening there and how the mother promised to buy her daughter a toy gun so she can be shooting with it. But before we continue, I want to introduce my guest to you. Mrs. Ushe Wantarali. I'm sorry if I don't get the name correctly. And thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for coming on this show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Caroline Bates. Thank you for coming on this show. I'm happy to see you both. I know that Mrs. Ushe Wantarali is the founder of and chairperson of Ushe African Arts Foundation, which aims at giving a platform to talented but less privileged African artists and fashion designers to exhibit and be able to showcase what they have in them.
Yes.
If there is any way I don't understand, you can
You're very on point. You're correct.
You can tell the viewers something. So if you are very talented in drawing, sewing, and you don't have opportunity to showcase your talent, here is the woman. She's ready to help you. She's actually in it. I've been with her, and she's been amazing. She's a wonderful person.
Thank you.
Also, my friend Caroline Bates, thank you so much. I know that Caroline Bates is the founder of Arms of Love International in Netherlands, which is concerned with inner city mission and bridge builders for churches and communities. Would you like to elaborate more on it? Maybe there is something I didn't tell them, you know? I don't really understand.
Well, you have said everything. I think it's really good.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much and welcome on this show. Like I have told you earlier that the title of today's topic is Toy Guns. So without wasting much time, I want to ask you, I haven't seen our video, I want to ask you some questions now, like, what do you think is the advantage of buying our children toy guns? What do you think is the advantage? I'll start with
me?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're starting with a very wrong person, because if it's just left to me to answer, there is simply no advantage. But for the purpose of the people, I know some people believe in it, I know some people do it, and what I hear is like, oh, they're kids, they need to play with everything available. You never know, maybe the kids want to become a soldier in future or police and has to learn how to use the gun. So it could be an advantage for those kind of people, but for me, I actually really don't see an advantage in it.
Advantage. Do you think there is any advantage, Caroline?
Well, I would just, she has just said it all. For me, it wouldn't be any of advantage, but because you have different family values, some parents parents will think it's useful to be talented in all areas or walks of life. But for those who don't have an understanding of what toy gun would mean, they will find it if they could communicate it better with their kids and things like that. And the kids will have that understanding, which I really am skeptical about. Then it might be useful for such kids if they are grown up a bit to understand that.
Do you think it's useful for anyway?
No, it won't be. It won't be at all for me as a mother.
There is no advantage. That's what you're
So
trying to
I
tell us.
know that I wouldn't encourage such a thing.
Yeah. You see, viewers, there is no advantage of buying your children toy guns. Like I've said earlier, an Indiana boy, 3 years old, just 3 years old, killed his father with his father's hand-loaded handgun. Before that child could kill his father, he must have been handling some plastic guns. So he didn't even know the havoc that loaded gun could wreak on the father. Now he just imagine what will happen. People will tell him that you killed your father when he was 3 years old. It's still the father's fault for buying the children toy guns. The game companies, I heard they are making millions of euros or dollars from violent games just to destroy the lives of our kids. And I want to know now, what are the disadvantages of buying our children toy guns? What are the disadvantages?
I will really say that even within the content or the context itself, it's really a danger that you buy toy guns for your kids, because kids who don't understand, kids are prone to imitating things. So if they will have access to even the dangerous weapon or things like that, if they know how to use it, they will just imitate and they will use it. And it's just the same like having toy guns, and they grow up and it becomes like a friend or a pet or something they really would love
to play with
to mimic. Yeah, so
like the video, the mother said that you are going to be shooting anyhow.
yeah,
They don't know that shooting is not bread and butter.
that's right.
I think it's
Actually,
dangerous.
for me, when I see a mom or a parent or a friend or anybody buying a toy gun for a kid, I ask myself, I have the tendency to ask the person, if I don't know the person, but if it's someone I know, I ask, of what intention, what you want to achieve by this?
Yeah.
What learning opportunity are you giving the kid? What kind of exposure is this? Because what do we know a gun for? We know a gun is something you use to shoot,
Yeah.
and when you shoot either to disable or to kill.
Simple.
So of what advantage is this to a kid? Is there a way in the future to solve problems? No problem in the world has ever been solved by killing or by disabling. It doesn't solve a problem. It rather infuriates the opposite party to retaliate. And the retaliation means more killing.
Yeah.
So what I say is, instead of investing the money to buy a child, not about the money, but you want to make a child happy, why don't you make a child happy by giving a child a kettle to play with and learn how to water a plant at home, and give the child the instrument to learn how to build a road, how to build houses, how to paint, how to little but very basic. But these are the things that make the future worthwhile than gun to shoot. So even the water gun, I never give my kids. I raised 3 kids who are very socially adapted to the society. I never gave them a gun, a toy gun, whether it's plastic, no. Not even the water gun. I'd rather give you a hose from the garden to play with water in the summertime than the gun. It's very scary because kids get brainwashed. They become, they feel like, ooh, shooting or playing the video game.
But it's gone.
Yeah, and then the brainwashing, they grow with it, and it increases the violence in the society. I would rather really appreciate it if the game companies could make so many other games. There are so many other things that make kids happy. There are a lot of things kids can play with that are also both enjoyable but also learning process for them than the gun. I really discourage it, and I hope one day it's going to be completely abolished by the law.
I'm being a medical personnel. I know you have to be a medical person.
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of bloods, which I've, like when I was working in the hospital, I worked in the hospital for many years as a midwife.
Yeah.
When people die or when they bring up accident victim to the hospital, I have this kind of negative message sent to my brain. For days I will not be able to eat properly or drink anything properly. When I see blood, it affects me. You know how it is when you see blood or anything. These our kids, the games are exposing them to blood. They're exposing them to blood. A child just told me recently that when his friend exposed him to blood on internet, that he could not sleep. He started having nightmares. He was having a lot of difficulties getting himself together again. Because of the guns and the violence he saw. So with parents, we have to try and monitor what's the kind of games and be careful and be disciplined. I think with discipline we can.
It has actually two major effects in my own view. Apart from some of them, you see that you get post-traumatic syndromes, and they get, some people even go actually really psychotic from those kind of experiences. But some of the kids actually grow up being really immune to this kind of things, that it doesn't mean anything anymore for them. They just shoot.
They just shoot because
like it's
like
nothing, you know, for them it's nothing. Someone falling dead or something feels for them like
it's a game.
Finish, you know. So either they get so immune to, either they are very heartless or they get highly traumatized. So on both ways, they are both very, very bad. So I highly discourage.
Okay, we are going to go on a very short break now. When we come back, we'll continue with our other question. Thank you, don't go away.
Believe there is solution. Believe there is solution.
Also, I have some things to show you, some materials which God has enabled me to put together. Most of the topics we've been discussing and the one we'll still discuss, they are inside these books. Like this one said, The Keys to Discover and Recover. It's very handy, it's a very powerful book. You really need it to discover that thing that you are carrying. Whatever that is driving you, whatever that is inside of you that needs to come out, you need to recover it. You need to discover it to be able to recover it. This book will help you. It says The Key to Discover and Recover. You can get it on our website, www.lifeguidefoundation.org. This book is there for you. And also this one said, The God That Remembers. Is there any God that remembers us? Who is that God? Is there God at all? Does he remember you? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling confused? Are you lonely? This book is for you. The God that remembers. When will he come for you? Everything is written in this book. You need to really know if there is a God. You have to get this book. Also on our website you can get it. And this one says powers to defend. Power is the ability to do work. Which kind of power are we talking about? Is it physical power, spiritual power? And also, how can we achieve this power? How can we acquire power? This book will tell you where power comes from and how we can get power. If you are fainting, you need this book. If you are confused, if you are frustrated, if you are already weak, if you are giving up, you need power to be able to go on. Power to defend. And also, this one is a big book. It said The Fruitfulness of the Barren. Is what is barren in your life, financially, maritally, academically, and in any other way, spiritually, physically, people can be barren. This book, The Fruitfulness of the Barren, is going to help you to be fruitful in every areas of life. There are lots of reasons why people are not fruitful. It's all written in this book. And what you can do to be fruitful is here, and also some prayer points. And this one says hatred in the house of God. Many people have quit the house of God. They stopped going there because they said a lot of hatred. Why is hatred there? How can we chase out hatred if we experience it? You can get this book, it will help you. And there are other books which is called Challenges, Evangelism Guide, Solutions to the Challenges of Life. It's concerning our talk show and many more. It's for children and adults. You can also get them on our website. The e-book is there. And this one say is our movie, our new movie. Well, new movie or old movie, I don't know, but it's a movie that we have produced. It's called Divine Restoration. You can watch it on YouTube, and you can also get the CD if you want it. If you want it, contact us on our website. I will send it to you. And there are also shops where you can get it in Nigeria. I would send them to you. If you want it, just let me know. And if you cannot buy it on our website, still let me know if this is what you want. And if you want the e-book also, you can also get the e-book on our website. Thank you very much. And there are not other books coming soon, which I'll be introducing to you. And as you are reading them, I know you will be blessed. Every challenges in your life, there will be solutions to it. Welcome back, viewers. Before we went on that break, we were talking about the disadvantages of buying our children toy guns. And now we are going into our third question, which is how can parents protect their children from violence? We have seen that there is no advantage in it, like what we have agreed on, and we only see disadvantages. So now how can we parents protect our children from violence? From being violent? Mrs. Uche, can you give us answer? Like, what do you think? How did you
talk
protect
from
your
my own
children?
experience?
Yeah.
I from the beginning, actually, the tender loving care as a parent I showed to my kids. I made my kids from childhood to understand that every issue in the world can actually be solved by dialogue instead of resorting to violence. You keep your head above water, be responsible, be respectful, but be assertive as well to be able to express yourself when you're happy or not. And then avoiding violence is so easy. It's so easy because if I have a misunderstanding with you as my friend, my family, and I talk about it with you, and we create an environment where we can discuss it, there's not going to be violence.
Yeah.
And then avoiding those instruments that are weapons of destruction, as the toy guns, as all the little things that kids play with that are really dangerous. I didn't introduce my kids to those kind of things.
Yeah.
I brought my kids to God and made them believe there is an almighty creator who demands that we should live according to socially acceptable norms.
Wonderful.
So that was my technique, and it worked very well.
Wow.
And I made sure the communication line between me as a parent and my kids was open. No judgment. My kids could always come to me. I could always talk things over. You make the allowance for mistakes to be made, and then learn from the mistake and take corrections.
Wonderful.
That was my technique, and it worked
And we see your
wonderfully.
wonderful work. We have really
Yes.
seen how wonderful your kids are.
I'm very
We
proud of
envy
them.
them. Thank you so much, Mom. May God
welcome.
continue to strengthen you and your husband. And also, my sister, how do you think we can prevent our kids from being violent?
Well, I would just say that I think also it's the kind of thing about where we are being brought up, and it's linked to that kind of. So in the beginning, because I was brought up in a church environment where you would take your children to church,
Right?
and so I think that's my number one thing, that a child will learn about love in such environment. What comes to the mind is showing love to the community, showing love to friends, showing love to whoever it's, I'll call a neighbor. So I've always brought my child in such warmth environment where she understands it's important to communicate, it's important to show love, it's important to express yourself whenever there is need. So I've made her a real close friend, and she understands that being a friend and being in friendship and good relationships is always important. But at the same time, express yourself how you feel, communicate that issue that bothers you, and relate in a peaceful manner. So I think that understanding is quite good, and if you relate in a broader view, or it helps the community to go forward, because everything
be at
begins from an
peace.
individual.
Yes. Yeah.
Things begin from one individual and from your own self.
Start spreading.
And as you could have that, then it spreads or to the entire community, or it affects a number of people, I should say, or
Yeah.
impact.
You're right.
So
Well,
from
thank you
this
so
point of
much.
view,
Yeah, even the Christian doctrine
Yes.
taught us, said, do unto others as you would wish them do unto you.
That's right.
So if I don't want violence from you, I wouldn't be violent to you. So then we live in harmony and in peace.
Then we should stop inculcating violence into our kids by
Yes.
buying
Right.
them dangerous
Those-
weapons.
because they get brainwashed with it, they grow up with it, they grow to love those things, and they want to use it.
Even if
right.
they are going into the force when they grow up, let them get to that stage.
When
No Air Force school will accept a child of 3 years old.
They
That's
will
right.
teach exactly.
Even kindergarten
No.
will not allow you to come there with to
I'm
come
a
and
medical
have-
professional to a high standard. I never learned to play with needle and thread when I was so young. I grew up and I went to the nursing school, to the medical school, and I learned how to use those things. The same with doctors. They don't have to start playing with knives to cut people's belly as a surgeon. When you go to medical school, you learn
You
that,
learn it.
you know,
That's
and you
right.
will definitely
So
learn
we
it.
should not train our children with toy guns.
Yeah,
Because you never can know where they will find the real gun.
That's right.
Like the Indiana boy of 3 years old who killed his father
sure.
with his own loaded gun.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
boy saw the father, maybe they are doing such things in their house. We never know what is going on in their house
That's correct.
before he could kill his father. So many people are killing their siblings. I've seen so many experiences, especially in the US.
Yeah, that's correct.
So we have to stop. And these things start from games,
Yeah.
computer games.
That's right.
The game company have to really stop.
Yes, I
They
think
have to,
so.
to visit their curriculum.
They
I
should
have to check.
produce more other. There are so many other items that can make kids happy to play with and then learn from
Yeah.
without the guns.
That's
We
right.
don't need the guns. I don't need guns around my grandchildren. I don't need guns around my little nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
I don't need guns around my friends' kids.
Okay,
That's
thank
right.
you
It's
so
why-
much. We are going to go on a short break now. When we
Okay.
come back on this break, we'll be going to the next question. And after that, the quiz moment. Don't go away. Thank you.
Believe there'll be solution. Solution. Believe there'll be solution.
Okay, welcome back, viewers. Our last question on this show. No, second to the last. They say, what are some of the keys to good parenting? You've succeeded in doing it. You are going to share with our viewers. How did you succeed? How did you do it? Many people are having a lot of challenges raising godly kids, wonderful kids, responsible kids. You know, out there, children are becoming something else. You can't talk to any child these days without them maybe, hey, get out, talking to you anyhow. What are some of the keys that has helped you to be a good mother, to good parenting? What are some of the keys? Tawishe, you want to start?
For me, it's one very important thing.
Okay.
I see myself as a mirror image of what I want to see in my kid when my kid grow up.
Okay.
So when my kids were younger, much younger as babies, I try to be the role model. So I try to do what I say. If I say to my kid, as you're eating, don't talk when you eat because you might
Shook.
choke. And I'm sitting on the table with my kids. I'm not going to be, yeah. So, you know, I'm eating with them, and then it's time to eat. I'm not going to be eating and talking, and when the kids talk, I say, hey, shut up, don't talk. So I try to be the mirror image of what I want to see my kids become in future.
Okay.
I try to let them know there is room to make mistakes as well.
So please learn from what they see us do
Yes,
than what we teach them to do.
correct.
Oh, I love that philosophy. That one has been ringing in my head for a while. My sister, what are some of the keys to your good parenting?
I think for me, the number one thing is just instill love in your child. That's what I've been doing to my child. I've really led her to understand that love is very important. So in everything that I do, I do it with love.
Wonderful.
And I am the role model. I am the example. So I try to be that example there for her and make her understand what is it's
Expected.
important. I was expected in our society.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't put her on that kind of like pressure that it has to be. There is room for mistakes, just as
Yeah.
Mrs. Uche said.
We don't expect perfection from
No,
our
I
kids.
don't. No
But
one is
whatever we
perfect.
do,
Yeah.
we should expect our kids to do the same.
That's right.
If you are a smoker, don't say your child will not smoke.
So-
They will smoke. If you take drugs, they will take drugs. If you have a topic actually that is coming up very soon, it's talking about the consequences of irresponsibilities. That will be my next topic. It's a very wonderful topic. Everybody will see it on the video. If you are a prostitute, please don't expect your child will be or just grow up like that. They will have to test the waters. If you want to see your children be what you are. If you like your child to be what you are today, then you can continue doing what you are doing. Because they will not live any other life. It's what you are doing, they will do.
Emulate.
When people are starting up a company, they say, and sons.
Yeah.
And sons is that they expect multiplication.
That's right. Take over.
So whatever you are doing will multiply. And it will spread
Yes.
to your sons and your daughters.
That's right.
So parents, viewers, you have to be careful on what you are doing. And that is one of the principal keys to good parenting, according to what our guests have said. And our next question is, okay, our question are finished right now. I want our guests to advise you. What are some of the advice you have for our viewers? You've experienced it, you said you've seen, you've conquered, right? There are so many people who are still on this journey of life. I want you to please give them something, your advice.
You start?
I will. I will say that like what we have just discussed about the toy guns. I have a strong opinion about that. I wouldn't take the risk, to put my children in such play games. I will totally keep that off them. And generally, it's for me it's important that as we live in our community, we should try to teach our children how to embrace the community and to love one another. That's my strong message.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What advice do you have for our viewers?
My advice to viewers is that I'm really hoping that as we are still here talking, that all the toy guns at home are already being packed into the trash for this recycle.
And the dangerous games as well.
All the dangerous
Should
games,
be-
please just immediately begin to put them in a big carton to be thrown away as early as 6 o'clock tomorrow morning if possible.
Yes.
And please don't buy more, please. And the production companies, I'm appealing to you seriously, please look for other beautiful, nice learning equipment and produce for the kids, and no more toy guns. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also, I want to talk to those people that are in the orphanage homes. The kids there are your children. Don't try to entertain them or try to keep them away from you, because some parents right now, or some of the children that have not have opportunity to grow in a family, they are most of the violent ones. They are always in haste because they want to keep them away. They don't want them to come. They will say, don't disturb me. These are the toys. Stop playing. After all, they are not your kids.
No.
You give them anything, you train them anyhow. We'll give account of how we raise them. And not the kids that they have helped us to spoil, or the government people that are helping us to spoil our kids. We are also begging you. These kids are going to be products of this. They are going to go into the world. They are the future of our generation.
Yes.
And if they don't give something good to them, it's what you give to them, they will give to the society.
Yes.
So stop spoiling our kids for us. Stop forcing them to do what they want to do. Allow their parents to have a say in their life,
Yes.
which is very important. That is what we are talking about. Thank you so much for coming on this show. God bless you. I'm happy. And before they go, I want to give them their gift for coming.
Yes.
You have gifts.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Believe there'll be solution. Solution. Believe there'll be solution.
I'm going to take you to club tonight, but on one condition. Promise me that you are going to be a good girl.
Of course, I'm always a good girl.
Not in this outfit. But mom, all the kids are wearing this. Just make a statement.
You know when you flow with me, you always get pretty girls though. So
Okay, sure.
trust me for that
Why
one.
not? Yeah.
My baby, you shall live long. You shall not die at a young age.
Who did this to you?
His first husband was mad. He almost killed me last night.
What is it? No, it is over between me and you. I'm leaving you.
Destroying my life in any kinds of way, corner. Me that can drink 4 bottles of wine. 4 bottles of cognac.
Stupid irresponsible.
What does he have that I don't have? I'm still not.
This thing is over. I can't stand this anymore.
Please.
What? Me stupid? You're stupid.
dramatic talk show like no other. This talk show addresses different challenges confronting us and their solutions. It's a weekly programme which will be coming to you by God's grace on the television and social media. The viewing channel's date and time will be announced later. At the end of each talk show, there will be a quiz competition and gifts for every winner. You can win our gift no matter where you live. The first person to provide an answer to our questions in less than 60 seconds will receive a gift from us. All you need to do is to like our page on Facebook and share it with your friends. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and add us on WhatsApp. You can also visit our website www.lifeguidefoundation.org. Meet me there and God will richly bless you.